What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So this right here is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra in green. And from lighting, it doesn't really look like green. I've seen, comments of saying it looks like a teal and like a blue, but it's a green. I definitely recommend to check it out in person. But today I want to talk about why I switched to the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I was previously using a Pixel 6 Pro, but now I put my main SIM card into the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and why this is going to be my main device from now on. Just a little disclaimer. Yes, I do, frequently change phones and I review phones, but there are phones that after I review, I have to keep my SIM card in one of these devices, and S22 Ultra is currently looking like that device that I'm going to be keeping my SIM card in. But before I do dive right in, I want to thank everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. We hit 15,000, and in fact, at the time of this recording, or at the time of this video is uploaded, we probably will have hit 16,000. So thank you all for subscribing. And also, as you all know, the wallpapers that I use on my phones, I use an app called Backdrops. It's available on both iOS and Android. So, check out the links in the description down below. And one last thing is I have a new logo for the channel. I'll be putting it up right on screen. So that's my new logo for the channel. Hopefully it's incorporating my initials MT and G, and hopefully it's going to be the logo for this channel moving forward. And also I have some apparel and some accessories, well, some mugs, iPhone cases, and some apparel. And I'll leave those links in the description down below, and they all have my logo on it too. So if you want to support the channel, and it really would mean a lot. Anyway, let's dive right in. Okay, so the number one reason that I did put my SIM card into this S22 Ultra, and I'm going to be using it as my main device, is going to be display and media consumption. While the Pixel 6 Pro has a really good display, 120 Hz LTPO Quad HD display, it just, and it's OLED, it just cannot, stand the likes of Samsung. You can just tell the display is just so much more vivid and brighter and better. And with brightness, that's also a thing. 6 Pro had some brightness issues. This does not. It's really visible outdoors, especially in sunlight, with a max peak brightness of 1750 nits. So this has a peak brightness of 1750 nits. It gets super duper bright. It is very crisp. And this display is really amazing for watching videos and consuming media, or if you play mobile games. I kind of stopped playing Call of Duty as of late, just because I don't have that time to consume games. I have put aside my games for my Nintendo Switch. So guys, I haven't, finished Pokemon Brilliant Diamond or Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, whatever you want to call it. Those are being put aside just because of, schoolwork going on, and also, working for the channel. But man, I love this display. And the reason why display is one of the most important factors for me when I'm looking at a device, because it's the part of the phone that not only myself, but 99% of the people interact with, is this display. I mean, just look how vivid and clean this is. Yes, it is a curved display. And while many people don't like curved displays, this one is not as, drastically curved as past years. So I haven't had any accidental touches. I have no issue whatsoever. I really like this. It gives a more modern, sleek, and elegant look. So I have no issues with this curved display. Would I have liked it if it was a flat display? It would have been, better, but nonetheless, like, this curved display doesn't really annoy me. And I think that's the reason why many people don't like it, because there's accidental touches, or it, it gets in their way, but not for me. I absolutely love this. 120 Hertz LTPO. It has a refresh rate from 1 Hertz up to 120 Hertz. And that's according to what you're doing on the device. Now, when you first pick this up, it is capped at full HD. You can upgrade, you can go through settings and change it to Quad HD, but I haven't had the need. So right now, this phone is at full HD. It's display resolution. It's not a Quad HD. I'm not going to, just because I'm still testing the battery if I want to see how far it can go and last me throughout the day. So far, it's been pretty good. Definitely much better than Pixel 6 Pro. But, we're talking about display media consumption. I've kind of put my iPad mini, which is actually, it's actually right here. I put my iPad mini to the side to consume all my media now on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and I've been rocking this ESR metal kickstand case Thank you so much, ESR, for sending this out. But I just propped it, I just put it up, and I'm good to go. I'm watching all my content. So I'm looking for excuses to use this device to watch videos and to, video call and all of that stuff. So it's definitely been great. Number 2 is actually something that is like a 50-50, where 50% of people may like it, 50% may not like it, or it's just maybe those for who are the Note lovers, and that is the S Pen. So Samsung officially confirmed that the Note line is kind of, it's gone, it's done, it's dead, whatever you want to call it. It's extinct. Not really extinct, I guess you can call it the Note reincarnation, because the Note is back with the S Pen. It is an S22 Ultra. Let's preface that this is the S22 Ultra, not the Note 22 Ultra. It has almost, it brings those, everything about that's good about the Note into the S22 Ultra. And I think that's what Samsung is kind of aiming for. They're taking that Note lineup and implementing it into the S Ultra lineup. So you're going to be getting like the S22 and the S22 Plus, but then the S22 Ultra is kind of like that Note. So for those who want, the extra power, I guess, not really power, because they come with the same configuration as base model, 8 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage. But if you want the S Pen kind of, and you want a boxier design and more camera upgrades, then I guess S22 Ultra is the way to go. But for me, S Pen, this is my first S Pen that I've been using, and I just up until using the S Pen, I haven't realized how much I always need to take notes, but it's just been great. Like, I need to write down a phone number, and I'm just writing down a phone number, or I have to, something comes to my mind, like something for the channel. I'm like, oh wait, let me just pull out my S Pen real quick. Instead of like going to my notes and typing, I'm like, all right, so today I need to film S22 Ultra B-roll. That's it, and just listen to this writing. I just love it. Isn't that so sleek? And yes, by the way, I am a lefty. So there, film S22 Ultra B-roll. Like, I just wrote that down in just a matter of seconds. You can close it and put your S Pen back in and turn it back on, or take it out while the screen is off. And right here, I'm writing, hello, this is a test. Here we go. And 2.8 milliseconds. Latency, down from 9 from the Note 20 Ultra. So it feels like real time. It really does feel like you're writing on real paper. That's just how good it is. But I really like how I can use this. I just pull out the S Pen because I like doing this now. Like, I like navigating with the S Pen. This is just great. I absolutely love it. I don't know why I never went with a Note device before, but S Pen has just been a reason for me to, love this phone even more. Okay, number 3 is going to be the size and build quality of this. Now, putting the S Pen aside because it's part of the phone, it's huge, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and I can say that it's been performing much better than Pixel 6 Pro. Well, this boxy design really fits comfortably in my hand. While I do prefer, mini devices like the iPhone 13 mini, and I actually, this camera right here that I'm pointing at is the iPhone 12 mini. And that was my main iPhone until I upgraded to the 13 Pro Max. I love, mini and compact smartphones, but there's just a thing about, large devices that I just can't, get over. Yes, I hate, carrying it. It's a huge, it sticks out, and it's just, it's just easier to carry something like the Z Flip 3, for example, that's compact. But, consuming media on this and this build quality of being a little bit more boxier just feels better in the hand. It fits comfortably in the hand. I kind of really can't explain the feel of it until you kind of, hold this device for yourself. But for build quality, it's got Gorilla Glass Victus on both front and back. And I love this back, this green color especially. It doesn't really attract too many fingerprints. Like, if you look really closely against the light, then it'll show some fingerprints. But for the most part, I don't see any fingerprints. I love this matte black, or matte back finish of this green color. I kind of want to try out the other colors in Samsung.com exclusive colors, but for the most part, this green honestly I think green looks really good on a smartphone. It should be the norm for smartphones. I kind of hope iPhone goes back to a green with their iPhone 14 later on this year, but that's for a different video. But build quality, it's built like a tank. Yes, it is a fragile phone, and I think that's what high-end smartphones, they're meant to be a little bit more fragile with using like glass and whatever. Some use different materials, but for the most part, this is just a solid phone that I can definitely recommend for its build. It's really built well. I mean, it's not slippery. It's not too slippery in the hands, although I still would recommend the case because you're paying a premium. I can't even speak. You're paying a premium for this, phone. So I would say, pick up a case like Samsung official cases, or this one that I personally use, this ESR metal kickstand case. But overall, I just like the comfort of using this and holding it in the hand. It really suits, when I'm using it, really suits my needs. Okay, and number 4 is kind of like the small things. In the small things, one of them is this, the fingerprint sensor. Just please, can we take a look at that? Coming from a Pixel 6 Pro, let's just put this down for a sec and remember Pixel 6 Pro and its fingerprint sensor. Just remember Pixel 6 Pro and its fingerprint sensor. It was just, and I need a form of authentication when I'm using my devices, and this is just, I mean, just look at that. Can we just appreciate how fast that ultrasonic fingerprint sensor is, please? I love it. I mean, I don't want to say that that's also a huge reason for me to switch over to the S22 Ultra, but I was really starting to get annoyed with the fingerprint sensor. And, you got to give credit to Google. It did get better a little bit over time, but it went from a 60% accuracy to 75% accuracy, whereas this has been literally 99% accurate for me all the time. So, I mean, I just need that form of authentication, and Pixel 6 Pro doesn't have a Face ID or Face Unlock with its front-facing camera. If it did have that, then I would have at least been fine with that, but it didn't have it. So it's good to upgrade to something like this ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Another thing that, Samsung is doing really well that I think Google should kind of take a look at and be like, wait, that should be us, is reliability and software. I mean, 6 Pro had so many bugs, and it was just a hassle to use, and I was patient, and Google did push out a really big update back in January, and I made a video about that. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and it improved a lot of the bugs and got rid of them, but there are still some bugs that I just, I couldn't be patient with any longer. So this has been great. Using One UI on this S22 Ultra has been really reliable, really smooth, no bugs, no hiccups, none of that sort. And also software support. Samsung is going to be supporting 4 years of major software OS upgrades. So if you think about it, this phone ships with Android 12. We're going to be getting Android 13, 14, 15, and 16. Whereas Pixel 6 Pro is only getting 13, 14, and 15. I mean, wait, that doesn't make sense. Google uses Android OS and it's their Pixel device. Shouldn't they be getting more software upgrades? It's just I don't get it. I hope Google kind of sees that other major manufacturers and companies are going towards longer OS upgrades. Samsung is going for 4 years, which is huge. I mean, iPhone already goes 5+ years on their iPhone, sometimes with 6. So for Samsung going forward, I think it's a lesson for Google to say, hey, we kind of got to fix our issues with software and reliability and give our users 4 years of software upgrades. Because, I mean, think about you having this phone. You wouldn't want to upgrade this phone you wouldn't want to upgrade this, especially in 2 years, because our phone upgrades have become so incremental the past couple of years. There's no need, someone that's using a Note 10 from 2019, really, I mean, if you upgrade to this S22 Ultra, that's pretty dope. You're gonna see the upgrades, but is there really a necessity if there's no need to? Your phone still performs like a champ, your cameras are great, your software, there's no bugs or anything, or it's not lagging. I don't think there's a need to upgrade. It's more of kind of like a want. So we're keeping our phones longer, and I think software upgrades therefore should last a little bit longer. That's just my opinion. If you have your own, let me know in the comments down below. But that's just how I see it. I think software, having longer software updates and upgrades for smartphones and, tablets and whatnot, I think it's necessary. And also the last thing is going to be the camera. Now, I'm not a huge, smartphone camera guy. I mean, I'm not using my smartphone camera 24/7 and consistently using it, but I kind of do enjoy having a good camera experience, and I'll be putting up some sample images. And so far I really like how the camera quality comes out, or the image quality comes out, especially with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. But what I love more is going to be the zoom. It's just phenomenal. The fact that you can zoom in 30x and it's still visible, still usable. The content that if you're going to showcase something, use 30x zoom. I mean, iPhone goes up to 15x and S22 Ultra goes up to 100x. And even at 100x zoom, it's still really capable enough to use. And that's what I love about the camera setup on the S22 Ultra. So if you're thinking about picking up S22 Ultra because of its cameras, I don't think you'll go wrong. And for the Android side, like let's put the iPhone and iOS side, or iPhone, topic aside. If you're invested into like Android ecosystem or Samsung ecosystem, and you're looking to start content and make it, start a YouTube channel, or start making, TikToks, whatever it is, short form, Instagram Reels, I think, this is a great Android device to get started with. I mean, this shouldn't be like the #1 device to get started with. There are other options out there too. But if this is on your list and you're in that category of I'm gonna be creating, making YouTube videos and making Instagram Reels and whatnot, then you can start with this. This camera will get the job done. Believe me, I started with a smartphone and I'm still using a smartphone right here, and right here. I have a DSLR and I use that for my B-roll, but it's just been so much more convenient to use a smartphone for my main content. I started with a smartphone, I'm continuing with a smartphone. So for those of you who have a smartphone and want to start making content, now's the perfect time to get started. You never know where it's going to take you. So when you have so many opportunities, just take that opportunity and start making content. But camera, you can rely on camera for that type of stuff. And that about wraps up this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy about, the reasons why I switched to S22 Ultra. And so far, this is probably going to stay in, my SIM card is going to stay in this device. There's definitely going to be other devices that come down, like maybe OnePlus 10 Pro. I don't know if I'll, review that. And obviously throughout later in the year, and I'll be reviewing devices later in the year as well. But so far, S22 Ultra is going to be pretty difficult to beat. So for those of you, those phones who are looking to compete with S22 Ultra, kind of gotta step up your game, because I think this is a really good contender for 2022. But if you did enjoy this video, be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video, because it really does help out the YouTube algorithm a lot and will help push my content out to more people. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, for subscribing, for sharing, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Anyway, everybody, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, because with the more interactions we get on this video, not only helps the video and the channel, but also pushes the video out to more viewers. And best of all, superman that subscribe button. Until next time, everybody, and until next video, this is MTG.